Hello everyone. In our last class, we had already learned about what are the short questions of our planning chapter planning, as well as we discussed about all the answers of all the questions given in our NCERT book. Now we will learn about what are the long answers given in our NCERT book and what all the answers we can write or how we can write our long answer questions in an exam. So in this class we will discuss about all the long answers of our back questions of NCERT which is given at the end of the chapter. So let's begin with very first question. Why is that organizations are not always able to accomplish all their objectives? As in, it wants that why organization is not able to achieve their objectives. What do you think? What does that it ask? It asks that why your planning gets failed, why you are not properly implement your plan, or why you can plan, why you can't formulate any strategy, or you can't able to implement your strategy as and you required, as you want. So why you can't able to achieve some organizational goals just because of your failure in planning, or your incomplete planning, or your negative or bad planning. Seems this question also deals with limitations of planning. Yeah, my dear friends, limitations of planning, as in you are required to answer that what are the generally limitations of planning, because if your planning have some limitation, if you are going through that particular concept, then only your organization won't able to achieve your organizational goals. Clear? So let's discuss each and every point of limitations of planning. First is rigidness. Yeah, we have various limitations of planning. Among of them, first is rigidness, as in plan is a very rigid in nature. They provide that you are required to some particular task as a manner decided by you, as and well the planning or the rules or strategies made by the organization, made by the top management. You need to decide whether such kind of strategies need to be implemented as and where they suggested, or I can update, I can modify any plan, or I can modify any strategy. No, my dear friends, you need to follow, or you need to implement each and every rule and organization, the plans and strategies as they required that you want to do. That's why planning is a rigid. Plans regarding the objectives to achieve in the course of action to be followed is formulated. Manager may not be able to change it. Yeah, this is also the concept, as in once you made a plan, once you formulated a plan, once you told your employees or subordinates or team members that do according to your plan, now you can't change your plan just because you don't think that that particular plan won't work you, or that particular plan won't suit you, because managers also require that employees need some mental level of pressure also, that they can work according to their guidelines. But for example, if you are going to learn about the business studies in your class 11th or 12th, or whenever you want to learn business studies, you are reading business studies, okay? Right now you are studying business studies, but suddenly your friend came and asked you to do accounting. You are going to do accounts, okay? Yeah, now that particular friend tells, yaar accounts to humko aati hai, we know the accounts, this kind of chapter, let's start with business economics, or economics I must say, or business studies, or any other subject, or mathematics, or something like that. So what you will think about, what will you say to your friend? Decide first, as in पहले decide कर ले पढ़ना क्या है. Same attitude the employee gives to the managers, that पहले decide कर लो हमको काम कौन सा करना है, what work we need to require to be done at the initial stage, first decide by yourself. This kind of attitude will be told by employees to the management. That's why this is generally a rigid in nature. You can't change simultaneously, as in you require, you change, as in you think, you deem fit, you change. No, my dear friends, you can't change planning in an instant basis. You need to take plan, you need to analyze, you need to evaluate each and every alternatives. Then only your plan can be changed. Next is cannot deal with the dynamic environment. Yeah, planning is not able to deal with dynamic environment, as in dynamic environment means changing environment, changing situations, changing circumstances, change in scenarios or change in plans. So, as if in any situation, if my plan A won't work, if any situation got changed, if any policies got changed, if any rules and regulations got changed, my planning won't be able to give or able to help me to achieve my objectives, organizational goals. That's why it can't help to maintain, or it can't be sure, it can't be fixed for particular scenario or particular situation. It has to be changed in each and every situation and scenario. This may lead to delay in your organizational objectives or delay in your completing a task, etc. Business environment is dynamic, thereby very uncertain. However, planning cannot foresee such changes and fails at times of changes and uncertainties. Planning is not able to see the uncertainties in future, which can be happen in future. Okay. Next is gigantic cost. Gigantic cost must be known as huge cost. Gigantic cost means huge costs, as in planning also involves so much cost in their planning, in the way of planning, as in you need to do the analysis of particular thing, you need to find out each and all alternatives, you need to find out pros and cons of every product, each and every product should be analyzed, that what kind of product, what kind of market I need to do, as well as you need to form some meetings, you need to discuss with your professional clients, professional judgments you need to require, professional advices you are required to maintain. These kind of stuff deals with the cost of planning, as well as planning also involves your particular area of research, area of management, as in how you can analyze the alternatives. It requires a time and cost effectively. That's why planning involves a huge cost. Formulating of plans involves huge cost in terms of time and money. As planning is based on future predictions, it requires a lot of thinking and analyzing. Analyzing here means we need to analyze or we need to research. Analyze or we need to research on various alternatives. Various alternatives. Clear? Next is false security. False security generally deals with that your planning doesn't guarantee you a success. Why? Because my dear friends, one thing is common here, that future is uncertain. You can't say, you can't know that our planning which is go as I like or as I made my plan, the organization or my future to the organization goes according to that particular plan. No, my dear friends, you need to change your plans according to the future uncertainties. So planning also not assure that you will achieve the objective only, but planning helps you to achieve objective, as in if your organizational goals stick with your plan, as well as your plan is properly formulated and implemented, properly monitored, then only your objective can be achieved on time. Otherwise your objective can't be achieved on time. Clear? Good planning does not mean a guarantee to success. Often the managers tend to rely to pre-tested plans that have worked well in the past. Sometimes managers also done what kind of thing that they won't create a new plans. They are just stick to the existing plans or whatever the experiences they learned from in the past. They won't create a new plans for the new situation or the new scenarios. That also seems that you are not creating a new idea, new innovations are not taken, then might be some past experiences may be failed or may not be failed. You can't say that each and every time past experiences will be get initiated or always get a success. However, it is not always that if a true plan had worked well in the past, it will also be successful in the future. That's what. That if a true plan or true strategy worked in the past is also work in the today's scenario also. It can't be happen. It all depends on the current market situations, demand situations, trend, as well as government policies are all the factors of the organization, either internal or external factors. All the factors of organization are as similar as past, or if any one factor has been changed, then my dear friends, your past experiences or your past planning can't be work anymore. Clear? Last is time consuming. Planning also requires time, as in if you want to implement or formulate a proper plan, you need to make a blueprint. You need to identify the steps, as in which step should be going to be first, which step is to be going to be next, which is to be last, which production is to be produced first, how much resources should be utilized, how much resources utilized for particular production, how you can give time to production, what is the time required to build or to manufacture a product. So these kind of all things requires a planning, and planning for these particular things require detailed evaluation and it takes time. That's why planning is a time consuming concept. Clear? Let's revise the question again. Why is it the organizations are not always able to accomplish all their objectives? We need to tell about organizational, why organization is not able to achieve their objectives, as in due to failure of planning, why planning gets failed, or I must say limitations of planning. We discussed about 5 limitations. Yes, come on. First is rigidness. Planning is a rigid, as in manager can't change each and every plan at any time whenever they want. They need to maintain a proper analysis of each and every plan. Yeah. Second one, it cannot deal with what? Cannot deal with dynamic environment. Dynamic environment means it can't deal with the changing environment. You have to set a plan for particular situation only, but you can't say that your plan is worked on each and every situation of the organization. Okay, next, third is huge or gigantic cost. It involves huge cost, as in it involves analysis, it involves research, it involves board meetings, it involves discussions with the professional experts. That's why it requires huge cost. Next, yeah, false security or does not guarantee a success. Planning can't assure you a success, but it helps to achieve a success, because if you believe that your previous plan or past plan helps you to the achieving the success, it also helps in current scenario also, it can't assure you, because it is the thing that while doing the plans, while formulating the plans, your future is uncertain. You don't know what kind of efforts are to be done or what kind of uncertainties can be made, as well as if you need to achieve success with your plans, you need to stick with it, you need to do properly measurement, properly controlling, properly implementation of your plan formulated by you, then only your success can be achieved. Last but not least, it is time consuming. Planning is time consuming. It requires a time, it requires proper evaluation of resources, proper evaluation of alternatives, etc. Clear? Next is our next question is, what are the main features to be considered by the management while planning? Okay, we need to discuss about what are the main features of planning, what are the basic features we need to require to think about, as in what is the planning. Okay, very first is focus on objective. Planning is always focused on objective, because if you don't have any objective, you don't have any achievement or target or any aim, then my dear friends, for what you are making plans? As in objective, you need to decide, I want to be clear my 12th with highest percentage, I want to get a good score, I want to get a Audi, I want to get a Lamborghini, I want to get a Mercedes, whatever the thing you require to be gain, to access or to aim or target in future, you need to do or set plan for right now for particular that objective to accomplish that particular objective. Clear? Focusing on objectives, planning serves the basis for guidelines of for what goals are be achieved and how they are to be achieved. You need to know what goals as well as how they can be achieved. Next is stepping stone, as in it is the stepping stone for all the functions of management. Stepping stone generally means it is the initial first and foremost step for all the functions of management. First and foremost step, as in functions of management. What are the functions of management? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. In the management function, we require to plan each and every level of management, each and every level of function, as well as each and every department requires proper planning, so that your work or your target should be achieved on time in an effective and efficient manner. Your organizational goals are achievable. It all deals with proper planning. That's why planning is generally a stepping stone to the organization. Clear? Our next feature is pervasiveness. What does that pervasiveness means? Planning deals with the all levels of management, all levels of department, all level of productions, all level of raw materials, all level of dealings or all level of transactions in your organization, so that it can help you to achieve particular organization objective, as well as if you are doing planning for as a department wise or as a product wise or as a you are doing planning in a management wise, then my dear friends, you need to analyze that that particular product has been implemented, that department is going good or department's working is going as per plan. So planning is applicable to each and every level of organization, each and every state of organization, as well as each and every function of management. Next, continuity. Is the planning is the only single or one time process? No, my dear friends. Planning is always based on a continuous process. You can't say that I had made plans, now my objectives will be achieved. No. While only formulating plans, you can't able to get or to achieve your organizational objectives. But if you want to achieve your organizational objectives, you are required to maintain that you have to follow each and every points, each and every targets you are required, as well as you need to monitor or you need to measure each and every step that is formulated by you is going on the right direction or not. As one more thing, while completing a one plan, we need to assure that we need to formulate another plan or another objective also. That's why it is a continuous process. Next is choice making, or I must say decision making. What does that mean? Planning also helps you to decide what kind of product should be made, how it is made, what is the time required to make a product, how I can make, as well as how I can utilize my resources, what kind of resources I need to utilize, how I need to update my technology, which strategy I need to manage. It deals with all kind of stuff which tells about how you can decide what should be done and what should be not to do. That's why planning helps to choice making or decision making. It also helps that we also learn about that planning requires alternatives, evaluation of alternatives. You require to check whether each and every alternative is properly done, properly pros and cons, weakness and strengths are identified for each alternative. Then only you can analyze which alternative is best suitable for you. This is also part of planning. Sorry my friends. And the last is futuristic. Planning generally deals with the future which is uncertain. Planning is generally based on the achievements, objectives, or targets which is not for current scenario, which are always belongs to your future. Either it is for one day, for 1 week, 1 month, 10 years, whatever you want, it deals with a future. As in plan can't be deal with आपको अभी क्या करना है. It deals with आपको अभी क्या करना है, what you want to do today, but before that it wants what you want to achieve in future. Let's decide in present, let's do work in present. Clear? Okay, let's revise the concept. What are the features of planning? Focus on objectives. Planning focuses on objectives. Next, planning is a stepping stone for all other functions of management, as in it is the first and foremost step of management function. Next is planning is pervasiveness, requires to be managed or requires to be adopted by all levels of management, all levels of department of management of organization. Continuity, planning is not a single time process, it needs to be continued process, it need to be maintained or monitored on a continuous basis. Decision making, helps in decision making, as in it allows you to choose which alternative is best for you. Last but not least is futuristic. Planning helps you to decide as in what kind of future, what kind of target, what kind of objectives you want to achieve, so that you can make the plans according to your future targets. Clear? Next question is, what are the steps taken by management in planning process? What are the steps to be taken in planning process? We already learned about there are 7 steps. What are they? First is setting objective. You need to set an objective, what kind of plan or what kind of target you need to achieve. Second is developing premises. Here premises also means assumptions. As in you need to develop each and every assumptions can be dealt with in future, or what are the premises or what are the assumptions you have to deal in future, or what are the evaluations or alternatives you need to find, or you need to see that what are the uncertainties can be happen in future. Next is identifying alternatives. Now after taking assumptions of future, you need to identify each and every alternative which impact to your plan, which impact or which can stick to the organization, which can give you the best utilization resources, as well as it shows, it impacts how your resources will be utilized. So you need to identify each and every alternative which will impact your plan of the organization. Next is evaluating alternatives. After identifying the alternatives, now you are required to evaluate each and every alternative. You are required to make pros and cons analysis, pros and cons analysis for each and every alternative. So that you can identify each and every alternative's pros and cons. Now you can easily decide which is the best for your organization. So our next step is to selecting from alternatives, or I must say select the best alternative. Select best alternative. You need to decide, you need to select which is the best for your organization. After selecting the best alternative from all the alternatives, we need to implement the plan, as in whatever the plan is made, we need to implement that. But it is not the end. After implementing, we are required to follow up the plan, to check or to measure or monitor whether my plan is going or implemented as I am required or as I wanted or not. Clear? Let's revise the objectives of planning process of planning or steps of planning process. There are 7 steps: setting objectives, developing premises or assumptions, then identifying alternative courses of action. Yes, come on. Evaluating alternatives courses of action, then select a best alternative. Next, implementation of plan, and the last but not least, follow up action. Clear? Okay. You need to explain about each and every step. Our last question is planning actually worth the huge cost involved? Explain. As in, we already discussed about planning involves huge cost, so much cost. How you think about that planning involves this kind of cost? My dear friends, there are various reasons, various factors which talks about that planning requires, that it involves huge cost. As in, we already discussed about that planning requires some boardroom meetings, some professional judgment, professional expert dealings, as well as it also requires that proper analysis of each and every alternative. You want to do the research, so it all deals with some cost evaluating factors. So let's discuss about why our planning involves huge cost. First is, it renders direction, as in planning helps to help you to take the help you to take the decisions in the strategies, or as well as helps you to decide what kind of product is to be made, what kind of decision I need to be take. It all covers the cost, because sometimes it is required to deal with the professionals, sometimes it is required to research on evaluatives or alternatives, so that it requires a huge cost. Planning clearly states that goals and objectives to be achieved, thus it acts as a guide for the actions to be taken. It provides a direction to the actions of different departments of the organizations. They guide the managers about things to be done, what route to take, and how the objectives are to be achieved. Planning helps the managers that they know about which route should be adopted, what should be done, and what objectives need to be achieved. Clear? That's why planning deals with the renders direction. Next is subdued risk. What do you mean by subdued risk? Subdued risk means while making the direction to the organization or management of the organization, you are required to manage or to evaluate each and every risk at each and every plan, each and every scenarios. What kind of risk can be made, or which kind of risk I need to be deal with in near future. So by guiding an organization in the right direction, it accredits a manager to analyze and anticipate changes. This leads to reduction in uncertainty of the foreseen events. Planning shows how to deal with situations which may arise in the due course of management, though it does not fully eliminate the problems. That's why it evaluates each and every kind of risk. What I told about subdued risk. Then minimize overlapping. Planning helps you to reduce or to eliminate duplicacies or redundancies, so that you can work effectively. It can be written on paper or it can be written at somewhere, so that you know about what kind of product, what kind of particular task I had done, what is my next step, what is my current step, what I am doing correct right now. You need to note it down, so that it will reduces overlapping of each and every activities, each and every task, each of every situations you are doing, or each and every resources you are using. It can overlap each and every eliminations or redundancies. Clear? As the managers are well comprehend with the policies and plans, they coordinate the activities together to reach the objectives. Thus, overlapping of the work is reduced. Also, any wastage of resources that takes place due to repeatedness is reduced. Proper planning ensures there is no confusion and misunderstanding, and the work proceeds smoothly. Next is it encourages creativity. Yeah, planning also helps you to decide or to take a creative and innovative ideas, to do some new innovative ideas, to do some new creativities in the organization. While using the new ideas, you can't sure that such idea will be implemented or get success or not. This is simply a training. If it gets success, then don't worry, then it's fine. But if it won't get success, then my dear friends, the efforts, the team, the time they given into the organization for that particular creativity involves huge cost also, because it won't be get our objective, it won't help to achieve our organizational objectives. So planning serves as the stepping stone. Yeah, it includes formulating policies and plans which requires innovation. It is a crucial activity which demands the best of managers' thinking capabilities and creativities. It calls out for a new ideas by the management to attain the goals. Clear? Next is helps in decision making. Planning is helping you decide as in what product should we do, which kind of product I need to do, what kind of resources I need to do. For deciding anything you need to do analysis of all alternatives. So each and every alternative should be managed, should be discussed, should be properly evaluated, which requires proper research cost, training cost, etc. Planning involves analyzing the future, evaluating the various courses of action and choosing best alternative as per the objective. It helps you to choose best alternative or as well as what is the best for your organization and what is the best which I can use to utilize my resources. Last, essential for controlling. As in planning always helps that it is helps to control or it is helps to measure as well as whatever the plans I formulated to achieve my organizational objectives, we require to control or to measure or to monitor or to implement such particular plans in an organization so that I can measure that my plan is going on the right direction. As I suggested the what particular plan, what particular strategy should be gone, the workers or the employees doing the task as I had suggested or as the management suggested to that employees. So it requires or it is essential for controlling the whole process of organization. Clear? Let's revise why planning requires huge cost or why I must say planning involves huge cost. What are the factors of planning which involves huge cost? There are various factors we had discussed about, and these are: first, it renders direction. It gives you directions, that is how you is required to do work, what is work to be done, which product should be used, which resources, how much resources you should be used, what are the costs you need to pay. So it provides each and every direction. Next is subdued risk. It deals with the all kind of risk. It is required that you need to evaluate what kind of risk can be happen, what kind of risk can be measured or can be evaluated in your future. Okay. Next is minimize overlapping. In this point we had learned about you need to reduce all the kind of duplicacies, all the redundancies or the elimination, or you need to note it down that what kind of process should be done and when, as well as you need to measure each and every process or step that has been done accordingly, so that your duplicated or duplicacy products or duplicacy tasks can be eliminated. Clear? Next is encourages creativity. It asks you the management to create a new idea as well as takes an innovative ideas, so that it will gives company a good creativity as well as innovation, and it may involve a huge cost because we can't assure that a new idea or new innovation may succeed in achieving our organizational objective, but it may be succeed or it won't be succeed. It all depends on the creativity level of managers. Next is it helps in decision making. Planning always helps in decision making, as in you need to evaluate each and every alternative. While evaluating alternative, you need to do proper research, you need to find proper pros and cons, you need to find which alternative is best for you. So these all requires proper planning, proper cost, proper boardroom meetings, proper judgments or guidelines, consultancies with the professionals. It all deals with the how you can evaluate particular alternative. And the last but not least is essential for controlling. Planning helps you to decide or to control what are the resources are going to be used, what are the projects, as well as what I am doing the plan, what the plan I am maintaining or formulating is properly implemented to the organization. I need to monitor each and every step of the organization. Each and every process should be monitored. Clear, my friends? That's why all the planning involves huge cost factors. So we are done with our fourth chapter, planning. In our next lecture, we will start about our new chapter, chapter number 5. Till then, thank you.